Hi, everybody. Welcome to Amigos. I'm John.
And I'm Aaron.
And today, Aaron, we're talking about freaking Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Bo.
Merry Christmas.
We're almost there.
We're settled in our, firmly ensconced within our Christmas living room here. We want to give a special shout out to Paul Kitching, the 3D artist extraordinaire, who I've heard may be providing all of the artwork for the upcoming Kickstart event in Nottingham.
Well,
in June.
you couldn't find a better guy.
Of course.
And Paul's been helping us out with art for a long time.
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
He did all of the titles on our normal show, except with the exception of some of the 3D work by the Duncan Styles. Special shout out to the Dunk.
Yeah.
Giving us this Christmas card. You know, speaking of Christmas cards, Aaron, we got a special gift package. This just came last night to me in the mail. A little Christmas card here from the one and only Pajako 6502.
Oh, look at that. How cute. It's got a little, just so it says Noel Tendo.
Yeah, Noel Tendo. So very clever. Wishing you a very happy Christmas and a fantastic New Year. So thank you, Paul. We appreciate that.
That's great. Thanks, Pajako. That's very cool. Look at that.
And then as an extra added goodie, he provided us a copy of Amstrad Addict.
Oh!
For those
he
of you,
did?
yeah, for those of you who don't know,
Man, I was wanting to see that.
the Jonah and the team behind the Amiga Addict magazine, Pixel Addict. This is a special one-off edition Amstrad Addict magazine, and I'm telling you, man, the same high quality that goes into Amiga Addict every month in Pixel Addict is right here in Amstrad.
You think the Amstrad could support its own mag?
Well,
like a monthly, maybe a bi-monthly or something?
I'm not sure. You know, that's a difficult business decision, but.
Yeah.
You know, these special collector mags, I like them. You know, it's even if they're just once a year, it gives you a chance to see what's new out there. You know, a good dose of nostalgia, which everybody loves at this time of year.
You know, the Amstrad is, I think, it's a really neat machine. And now the newer stuff that's coming out for it's really good. And what makes it fun is that the stuff that came out for it back in the day was hamstrung most of the time. So now these new artists, these new programmers, are taking and using the Amstrad to its full potential. We've seen it time and time again. And so I like this is Danny. I'm so happy that they sent this over to us because I really have been wanting to look at this. And so I'll be stealing this book. That'll be coming home today.
Feel free to steal that. Now, it's time for a little gift giving, Aaron. You know, it's Christmas is a wonderful time because I get to give you things that I hope you love.
You know, I will say I've got nothing here for you.
Well, that's all right.
And the reason is, hold on, it's because your gift hasn't came in the mail yet.
Listen,
So it's that old shtick.
You are my best gift.
I told you. Are you kidding me?
No.
You were just killing me 5 minutes ago.
The time we spend together is the
man.
best gift of the holiday season.
Oh man, Turkish delights! Holy smokes!
So
we've been talking about these.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a story behind the Turkish delights, and the story is that me and Pajako and Pix were wandering around blustery England this past November, and we were waiting for the kebab shop to open. Okay.
Everybody.
And so we took refuge in this candy store.
Yeah.
And while we were in the candy store, I saw it. It caught my eye, and I remember you talking about Turkish delight in the past.
I'm gonna open this thing up because we never really quite determined what Turkish delights were.
Exactly. And
have you tried Turkish delights?
I don't think
before?
I've ever had it before. The box seems very difficult. There's no clear path inside.
Apparently the box is. Oh wait, I think it's one of those deals where you lift the gimmick. Maybe this is the gimmick here. Oh, yeah, I think I got it here, Boat.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. You know, remember we used to get a lot of candy and stuff on the show? We'd do that thing where we'd sit around and eat on the show. And then I don't know if you caught this in my stream last night, but it reminded me of the old days. A girl at the lab gave everyone these gift bags of like some kind of drink to make. And so I thought to myself, man, it's been a long time since I sat around mixing a drink up on the show. And it was one of the few times that I did it, and like it wasn't the worst drink I'd ever had.
Right.
Look at that,
The Boat's cocktail hour was less than successful when we introduced
Remember that
that
god-awful drink that we used that real expensive vodka in?
Right. It was when I had the lemon juice concentrate.
Oh, these are, okay, these look good. You want to try one of these, Boat?
Yeah.
These are Turkish delights. Let me see what this box says here. Rose and lemon flavor. I think I got lemon. Oh, yeah.
It's sort of like a jelly bean kind of texture inside the jelly bean.
You know what this tastes like?
Or orange slices.
Yeah. That is so good. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get this candy called Chuckles. Remember Chuckles?
Uh-uh.
They were like, imagine these, but like kind of round.
Okay.
By the way, if you're listening at home, these are cubes. Cubes, like sugar-coated cubes of these different flavors. Chuckles had like, say, 6 flavors, and they tasted just like this, but not as good. Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you, Bo.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm going to eat some more of those later.
So that's gift number
great.
1.
This is straight from the streets of Sussex, is it?
That's right.
Oh,
That's
man.
right.
That's outstanding, bro.
Only the finest British confectionaries
Come on,
make their
Dunn.
way
You
here.
know, oh, look at that. You're making me look like a real heel here, Bo.
I will say,
Oh, God, this is good.
this year I wrapped all the gifts myself.
Did you?
Yeah.
I did that, too. Most of them.
Of course, you always wrap all the gifts. Who else is going to wrap?
Well, sometimes I use bags.
Bags are no good.
Well, you did a good job. I mean, you even actually, you're one of those guys that tape it to the actual box.
I followed the YouTube
That's sort
tutorial.
of a no-no, though, isn't it, to do that?
I guess it depends on who you talk to. It's a controversial subject.
What this is here. Here, hold down.
Okay.
It's some sort of bag.
Yep.
Is it a bag?
It is a bag.
It's a bag of the Cotswold Motoring Museum. Burton, I just said bourbon. Burton on the water.
Yeah.
That's very good. Thank you, Bo.
Now look at the license plate of that car there. What's it say on there?
Brum?
Brum. Are you familiar with Brum?
No.
Well, to know Brum is to love Brum.
What is Brum?
Brum is an animatronic car that was popular on the kids' TV circuit back in the day in England.
Brum was?
Brum, yeah.
Is that the car right there?
That's the car. He used to travel all around England and have adventures and teach kids about safe motoring.
Duncan knew him.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, I figured with your love of the Pizza Time Theater characters and other animatronic characters, you would appreciate a bag with the UK's version on there.
Thank you, because this will be one of those things where I put my stuff in and people are going to be baffled.
Right.
Like, where do you get that? And
Right.
I won't tell them. That's because I'm a world traveler like Bo. Thank you, Bo.
You're
That's
welcome.
Very Christmassy of you.
You're welcome. And the Christmas joy keeps on coming. If you guys weren't aware, it's almost immediately following this taping. The gang from West Virginia will converge on my basement. We're gonna have high score competitions on the Atari, the Amiga, the NES, the Plastic Fantastic, G4 Mac.
Oh no! Not
And
that.
as long as Pajako can help me out, the BBC freaking Micro.
Oh, you're gonna break? You're breaking that thing out?
I'm breaking. Well, it hasn't been broken out before because Chad took it home with him after Boat Fest, and it's been in his garage since
Why
then.
did Chad take that home?
Well, I gave him some stuff to take care of for me,
Yeah.
and he took care
I
of
was
it.
wondering where that thing went.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. Then I when we were in England, Pajako and I were talking about it, and I sent a message to Chad. I was like, "Hey, do you have the BBC Micro?" He's like, "I've got it."
Does that thing work like fully?
It works fully and
Have we ever played with it?
no, because it's been in Chad's basement since Boat Fest or
Okay.
Chad's garage.
Yeah, but you've had the thing for a couple years, haven't you?
No, Pajako brought it to me at Boat Fest.
Okay, go goody.
Yeah.
That'll be fun, won't it?
Yeah, so we're gonna and the prizes, Aaron. You won't believe.
And after
the
playing with that
prizes.
BBC Master, like the BBC has some. They got a little jack.
It does. It's got Jack out the whack.
But let me guess, the Plastic Fantastic is this a pinball related
It's,
game?
yeah,
on
it's,
there?
it's the only reason I keep it around is that pinball game. So
That'll be fun, bud. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. So anyway, this is
Those are so good.
this concludes our gift giving portion of the show.
Is that what that was? Let me
Aaron,
ask you before we go on.
okay.
This isn't necessarily Christmas related, but you just got back from Chicago. How about a little brief synopsis of the trip?
So I was there at the behest of the Save the Music Foundation.
You're saving it personally.
Yeah,
You're involved.
I personally
I
saved the music.
I hope
this
you're not
Christmas.
saying the part of the music you're saving doesn't involve the singing, because otherwise, let it die.
I've heard that
Yeah.
before. I've heard that. The Save the Music Foundation. Remember VH1?
Oh yeah,
So VH1.
they're still around.
They're still around. I don't
kidding
know.
me, the
I don't know
channel?
what they do.
Are they on TV?
I think they're on TV. I think certain cable packages still carry VH1.
Okay.
So anyway, they have their charitable arm is called the Save the Music Foundation.
This sounds like a scam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every year they bestow new instruments to band programs all over the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So a couple of years ago, the Save the Music truck rolls in with all these instruments.
They've got a truck.
They've got, well, what else are you going to transport 40 million
Does it
instruments
have
in?
like does it have like, is it the cord, the VH1 decoration and something?
I don't,
like
you
that?
know, I didn't see the, because it came when I was in class.
I mean,
so I don't-
Oscar Myers is the Wienermobile. I was trying to just like
just a big
what this
eighth
looks
note
like.
or something on its side. That would look cool.
You need to get on that.
That's a good idea. So anyway, they roll in, all the PR people come out, the lady from California, the curator's there, they're shaking my hands, the superintendent shows up. We have a big celebration, we get a bunch of new instruments. Well, fast forward to this past September, where I'm talking to the curator of the state of West Virginia, Randall Reed Smith, and he's like, you know, I've got some scholarships left over for Save the Music to go to Midwest this year, the Big Band Director Clinic. Would you like one?
Yeah.
And of course, what I'm going to say, yeah.
Yeah, you got to take that.
Yeah,
I like that a guy just has scholarships laying around.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
needs those?
This guy, he is the man.
Yeah.
He is the man. And so anyway, on Tuesday, I drove up to Chicago. We made the same drive that we made going
Yeah.
up to the Cocoa Fest, and I basically spent. You know how it is. Like when you're at Walmart or you're at the mall or something, and you overhear somebody talking about breathalyzers or something like that, and you know the
never happened. That's no one's ever sitting around talking about breathalyzer.
well, I mean, like, when you're together with your fellow techs, you like to talk shop.
Yeah.
And so the great thing is, band directors, I'm the only band director at my school. I never get to talk shop with anybody.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So we all get together, and it's just a constant stream of talking shop, comparing programs, and also the big luminaries are there, these big composers, because they want you to buy their music,
Yeah.
So I got to meet all my band heroes. Jay Bocook, who was the arranger of Malaguena that Hurricane used back in the 80s.
Yeah.
He was there. Frank Tikelli, who's a huge composer. Michael Sweeney, who writes tons of middle school stuff. These people are like, it's like when you got to meet the Rock and Roll Express.
Is it really though?
Well, yeah.
The Rock and Roll Express, they're like worldwide famous.
These guys are worldwide famous.
To band people, so I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I'd say I
Do you
would
th- I
say
mean-
band people and wrestling fans about the same population.
I
I guess so. Yeah.
And so that was super special. And also, I got to hang out with some other West Virginia band directors, and we got to have some leisure time. Because most of the time when I see these guys, we've all got our bands with us. We don't have time to talk, toss back a few.
To me, it seems like if you and the other band directors got together from the local ones, it'd be like you'd make a chalk ring, and you'd each bring a chain, and you just have a big throwdown to see who the dominant band director is that year.
Listen, we all we all get along.
Oh.
It's all a fraternity. And we all played trombone too, weirdly. All the West Virginia band directors at this thing were all trombone players. So
That must mean something, but I don't know what.
it was a good time. It was a
Yeah.
good time, and I got a bunch of free books, because at the end of these things, I told you yesterday, the big publishers, they don't want to take anything home with them because it costs them too much money. They bring stuff to sell, and whatever
if they don't
doesn't
sell it,
sell,
they just burn it.
And so if you know the right people and you can kind of smooth your way in there, you can get free stuff.
How's it feel to be like a big time band schmoozer who can you schmooze right in there?
Yeah.
Like now you've got the ability, because of your credentials, big band credentials, you can slip seamlessly into these various big deals.
It feels good.
That's
it
nice.
feels good. I like being able to, because here's the thing, I'm a total imposter. I don't really have any real
What do you
ability.
mean, Teacher of the Year?
But
Clearly you've got some jack.
like I said, I think that was awarded incorrectly, but it's awesome, and I get to learn from the best band directors. You wouldn't believe some of these bands from Texas. They roll in and they play better than my college band.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, they got plenty of people to choose from than in Texas.
They've also got 6 band directors per school.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Bo. You're a schmoozing master, because you're band schmoozing. Now you're schmoozing seamlessly in the restaurant area. You've schmoozed in the Amiga area. You're like the human network cable.
I can ooze myself into almost anywhere.
Yeah. That's impressive, Bo. Well, that sounds great, man.
Yeah. So that was the Chicago trip. What did you do this past week?
I drove a lot. Mm-hmm. And then I did appear on a show this week. That was fun.
Tell me about that.
So I was asked for this the second year in a row. They had me over at the This Week in Retro show. In fact, it just popped out today as we're recording this morning. Me and Nagima Dave Velociraptor. Neil was already on Christmas vacation. Good move, Neil. And they're off for the next 2 weeks. So, like, I got edged into the nick of time. We had a good time. Those guys are a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you said that episode's out right now, This Week in Retro on YouTube.
Today. So, yeah, if you want to see me, more me, because God knows I'm on... they mocked me for my many appearances.
Is there a story that you think people would be interested in on there in particular?
Yeah, they had a couple interesting topics. One, they were talking about games that came to got ported the ports were better than the arcade game. I had a couple thoughts there, and then some stuff that never got ported but needed to be. I had some thoughts there. Hey, when it comes to arcade ports, I'm all over that.
Yeah.
God knows a few men have played more ports of arcade games than me, you, and the Brent.
That's right.
Played them.
That's
so
right.
If they were in my wheelhouse this time.
That's
no
awesome.
Michael Jackson talk this time.
Good.
Where I just sat there going like, ah.
All right, Aaron. Well, speaking of just sitting there, let's talk about Super Delivery Boy Holiday Rush.
Bam. It's a holiday rush, Bo, because it's the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, speaking of deliveries on holidays, how would you like to be in that business? That'd be bad times now.
Listen, you want to talk about a stressful job?
Yeah.
Being in that line of work around the holiday season. No fun.
You ain't kidding there, Boatster. So, of course, this week, Boat, as you know, we're looking at Super Delivery Boy, the holiday shift.
Yes.
Because it's Christmas time,
Yes.
Boat. Had you heard of the holiday shift?
Well, I'd heard of Super Delivery Boy before.
You had?
Because we talked about it several times on the show. This is a game that I think came out in like the late 2010s, maybe like 2019 or so. Indie Retro News, heavy coverage. But I had not heard about the Christmas edition before this week.
Yeah, it's funny because I was reading on Hall of Light. It says that they said this. Now I can't verify it. They said the holiday edition came out before the actual game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so I was totally wrong then.
Well,
Take it all back.
I don't know that. But listen, you never know. You take that with a grain of salt. The funny thing is, I will give the guys credit. When you download this is a downloadable game from Itch, and we'll put the link in the show notes. This was just updated in like the past 2 or 3 days of recording this. I mean,
that's the advantage of putting stuff on Itch is like whenever you buy games on Itch, you get notifications when your games are updated.
Yeah.
And you always have the most up-to-date versions.
Yeah,
I really wish that everybody, especially those of you that develop games in the Coco community, would embrace Itch because it's an awesome platform.
Well, I mean, they pretty much have. A lot of them have.
Yeah.
And so good on them. And I like the idea that you pay what you want, or you can set up a specific payment. But I mean, I'm more prone to pay for something like that, or as opposed to something.
Here's what I like. I like when they say pay your own price, and then you go there and they're like, the developer suggests you pay this, but they still don't make you.
Yeah.
And I was like, $2 for this? Yeah, no question. Bam.
Yeah. And then on top of that, here's something else you can do. And I've done this. It's like you can just download the game, not pay them nothing.
Right.
And then you play it, and you're like, hey, this is a $5-pounder.
Yeah,
here.
you go back,
Slip them a $5.
give them some money. It's great. It's
so
a great system.
A lot of the games I played on the Cami Game Jam, the Amiga Game Jam, were set up with it. I think almost all of them.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the ipso facto way to go. It's the Steam of
indie games.
Of indie games. And it's not a bad thing. And I've never heard anything bad about the place, and so which is unusual.
It is.
So I give them ups. As we mentioned, Super Delivery Boy, the holiday shift. This came out just a couple years ago, 2021. This was developed by NESO Games, Neeso Boat. We've actually talked about some of their stuff before, so I looked to see what they had available on Itch. And what they've got on there, of course, they've got Super Delivery Boy, which is it's a different game than this. And I haven't played it before. Have you played it?
Yeah, I played it on a stream before.
Oh, good. So you could talk about that a little bit when we get into it. These are the guys that did Jackal. Remember that Jackal?
Oh,
port?
yeah, which was very good.
Yeah, they're also the guys that are working on that Street Fighter 2 Amiga, sort of that tech demo. You know, and they're also, according to the site, are working on a port of the Sega Master System version of Vigilante to bring over. A lot of people like that Vigilante. I didn't like it, but a lot of other people.
It's sort of a lame bad dudes,
It's
right?
like it's sort of like a double. No, it's not. Yeah, it's way lamer. But no, it's more like.
Is it more like Double Dragon or?
Yeah, it's more like Double Dragon or
Target Renegade.
Well, hey, people love that game.
I know.
This was coded, but I'm going to try to do my best here. Federico De Soli.
I bet that's where the name comes from.
Yeah.
The NISO games.
And then
Soli.
the graphics were done by a guy called Graphics Kid. Spell as cool guys you can. And it says /BCO. I don't know what that, so whatever that means.
Who knows? And
the musician is Astraic. Astraic's worked on a lot of like indie games, but from what I read there, Federico and Graphics Kid, I think they just worked on the stuff of their own crew there. One disc. This runs on the Scorpion engine, Rocky Like a Hurricane, Scorpion engine, which we both have. I don't think we've had a really bad experience with the Scorpion.
The Scorpion engine is
here we go.
I've talked about this before.
You put it over, that's for sure.
The Scorpion engine, it produces games that act and feel like real video games.
You think with an appropriate engine, me and you could build up a game?
Well,
and maybe some graphics geek.
I had a lot of time to think on my way to and from Chicago. 7.5 hours.
This is something
both
you
ways.
pondered on the way?
And because of this game, I'm sort of, you're going to laugh, but I'm sort of inspired to download the Scorpion engine and see what I can do.
Can you just do that? You can just go download the engine?
I saw Bill. Bill did a special thing with Erock.
Oh, an Amiga Bill.
Amiga Bill, yeah. He did a special thing with Erock, and there's a lot of, it's a very gooey thing where you're sort of, it's not like coding in assembly language, I feel like it's something that might be within the realm of my possibility to put together something simple.
Here's the thing. Here's what first of all, and this is not a knock against you, but you're horrible. No, what I'm saying is, we are not, I don't know how much programming.
No, I'm the opposite of whatever a programmer is.
But I think that if we forced some of the people in the Discord to help us.
Right.
And by us, I mean you do it, and then I'll applaud.
Right.
It's sort of like Ed McMahon.
Well, I'll put your name real big on the title
screen.
screen.
Play tested. But Nick Barentes set me up, so you can do it too.
Yeah.
But I think with help from people, like talented people, because here's the thing. Let's pretend for a sec that you can take a game of like X's and O's and on a board and move them around. Okay, and there's a game there. Like let's say combat.
Right.
All right. Simple game, right? That's you do it. All right. Then you get some talented sucker to make your little tanks and crap up, make them look good, and maybe make a background, and then you need somebody to make some sound effects. That's hard.
Yeah.
And then you need somebody like a bark bit type to go and make you some tunes.
That's right.
This is where you get the crew together for both international programming.
That's where, Amigos software is born.
Is that what that is? Do you
Yeah.
have a thought on your first game?
I do, but I don't want to reveal
keeping it close to the vest.
I'm keeping it close to the vest.
That's understandable. It's understandable.
But Discord people, be on the lookout because there may be something coming. I got a week of vacation coming up.
Remember when I made fun of you for the whole Boat Fest concept? And now I'm regretting this entire conversation. Anyway, I digress. So, Super Delivery Boy, the Holiday Shift. Now, Boat, you've played regular Super Delivery Boy.
Yes.
Talk about that for a second, and then we'll move seamlessly into this.
So, Super Delivery Boy is a scrolling adventure game.
Yeah.
Where you traverse through various. I want to say, I said scrolling, but now that I think about it, it's been a while. I don't know if it's scrolling or if it's flip screen, but it is a multi-area platforming game.
It looked like I saw buildings.
Where you're going from various areas. Like you'll go inside of a house, you'll pick up something, you'll go outside the house, you'll go to a different place, and you'll drop it off to somebody. So you can think about it sort of like, any platform game. Like imagine Mario, but instead of the object being to get to the end of the level, you're going back and forth within this level, picking things up and dropping things off.
I see. So there are some similarities.
Yeah, it is a delivery mechanism.
So fast forward here to the holiday shift. You play as the delivery guy, and they've turned this into basically something that looks almost like the screen on this looks like something you might see in, say, Mario Bros. or a Bubble Bobble.
It's very similar to Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Or Popeye, something like that.
There's just multiple platforms up there, and your job is to I hate to say it's your job because there are ways you can play this game that you would never do anything. You don't have to do anything. You can just stand there. So this game is a point press game, and with a timer. Okay, now at the top of the screen, you're going to see two basically kids or people.
Yeah.
And beside them will be a colored package.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the package they want. Okay. At the bottom of the screen, packages appear. All right. And the packages are different colors. And so what you can do for points is go down the bottom of the screen, grab a package. It's a 2-button joint, by the way. Grab a package, jump up to the top, and either hand them the package or throw it at them. And you will get like 500 points. Okay, now, you can also go down and get a package that's not the same color. You can take it back up and throw it, and you get 100 points. They'll take it. Who's going to turn down a package?
Right.
But they don't want that.
Right.
You know?
It's not their most desired gift.
Right. Now, if that was the game, it'd be pretty boring. So what this game is basically you got 5 other platforms aside from the top 2 to go around and jump past critters. Or I don't. How would you describe what these bad guys are?
I like critters. I think that's a good word.
Now the critters, if they hit you, they basically make your guy turn red, make a bad noise. It's sort of like losing a life.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You've got a life bar.
Right.
And so you've got 3 hearts to spend.
Yeah.
Here.
And so you can do. Now, how do you deal with these guys? Well, there's a couple ways. These guys, you could take the packages. See, one thing the delivery boy could do, and we've seen this footage of this in real life, from they
can
FedEx,
fling the package.
They can violently throw the package.
Yeah.
Usually they throw it at the door, but if they're pressed, they'll hit a sucker with a package.
That's right.
And so what you can do is you can take and get a package the same color as the bad guy and whiz it at him, and you can knock him away for a little while. He comes back. They're very persistent.
Right.
But they go away for a little while, and it clears the path if you want to. Now, there's a third thing that comes down, which is I think it's like a walnut or something like that. And it rolls down the screen. And so, again, this will also take one of your hearts. But you can take a package, and any package, and whack this thing, and this will give you 5 extra seconds of game time.
Right.
Now, this guy didn't come out that much. And I pondered the possibilities that this thing laid into the game. Like, I don't think you could, if you hit this guy every time and kept getting 5 extra seconds, I don't think it would make a ton of difference over. I mean, it may make a little difference in your score.
Well, the what they've done to make the game from becoming unbalanced in that way is that I believe that the guy he operates on a timer.
Yeah.
The little acorn or whatever, it's like every 10 or 15 seconds
Right.
it'll go down. So you can't just do it forever because eventually you will run out of time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought about this strategically because I know how the Brent would look at it, and he would camp that guy if he could, and if the guy just kept coming out, he would just build up a bunch of time. But you can't do that. They've thought of that.
Right.
I mean, you've got, I think it's 100 seconds to play, and then the game just ends. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It's so you can lose by losing all your hearts or running out of time. That's it. Or the game can lock up, which we'll talk about that in a minute. And that's pretty much. Am I missing anything here, Bo? That's pretty much the game.
Yeah. Mechanically, that's all there is to it. There's not a set number of packages you have to deliver to clear a level. There are no multiple stages. There are no bonus stages. You are essentially delivering an infinite number of packages to an infinite number of clones that emerge from one of the 2 doors at the top of the screen.
When I first started playing this, I didn't know that, and I got very irritated that I couldn't get off the level because I didn't realize there is no level.
Right.
This is the level. This game is truly a demo in every sense of the word. The thing is, it's demoing a game that basically doesn't exist. So this is the game.
Well, what I wouldn't consider this a demo. I would consider it in the grand tradition of, like, say, cover discs.
Yeah.
This is a little Christmas present, free Christmas present that is going to offer you a limited amount of entertainment, but does have a very strong holiday theme.
Yeah, and we should mention that it plays Jingle Bells. Nice
rendition
of Jingle Bells, and talk about a little bit about the presentation, Bo.
I love the way this game looks.
I thought you might.
I'm down with the cute. In this game, it reminds me of, it's got a very kind of Kirby aesthetic.
Yeah.
Especially the little rolling acorn guy. He looks like he's right out of a Kirby game.
Yeah, acorn. That's what that thing is.
Yeah.
That's a walnut.
Yeah.
Acorn's what it is.
And I love the trees. The snow-covered Christmas trees. This is not Stario's Christmas, where you have the gray background with gray snow falling down.
Yeah.
This is a fully great. It's gradient, but it's not the annoying Amiga gradient that we hate or that I hate. This is it's a tasteful gradient where you've got a little bit of gradient that goes from it's like a sunset. It mirrors life. It's not Trolls AGA. So
that's the high water mark, isn't it?
I would have liked to have seen. I understand the limitations of this game. I understand that it's only going to be one stage.
Yeah.
It's only going to be. But what I would have liked to have seen is at least some sort of a round system where you get a little bit of a break, and even if it just starts over and everything moves a little bit faster, I don't think that would have been too difficult to implement, and then you would have had a real game. To me, this is not a finished game. This is great. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's fine for what it is, but to me, it's not a finished game unless you have some sort of a round system. The game has to change in a meaningful way for this to get that qualification for me.
Yeah. You have to put yourself in a mindset when you play this. Mm-hmm. When you see it, you're like, okay, cool, stage one, I'm going to knock this out. But you can't think that way. And
right.
you have to think about, I agree with what you said, by the way. This has got everything you need to have a really fun game, but it's not the best. Mm-hmm. Because it's rinse and repeat. And you do the same thing over and over, and there's no special enemies. There's no events.
And the game never gets more difficult.
It's literally the same thing over and over. Now, if you're not good at it, it's not the easiest. I appreciated the having 2 buttons.
2 buttons is great.
You can also do up for jump if you wish. And it is a look good. Like I said, it just looks like a game that would be great.
Yeah.
As opposed to a great looking game that's not that great. Mm-hmm. I understand the point of it, because they've got the real game, and this is sort of a cute little thing. It's Christmas, and trust me when I tell you, I've played a lot of Christmas games this month. Mm-hmm. This is this is much better than 99% of them,
right?
Because this guy actually put out something that's like a different game, to his credit. But it's not the funnest game I've played Christmas-wise, just because I wish there was a little more variety.
Yeah.
And the thing is, variety could have been easily added. There could have been speed ups. There could have been drops from above. There could have been 2 nuts that come out after you get to a certain point.
There could have been somebody chucking empties.
As far as you can see. There are plenty of things you could do, and maybe this stuff, again, it's hard to compare. Let's take a step back. If we were reviewing this and this game did not have a Christmas theme, I would not be as kind.
Right.
But it's got a Christmas theme, so this is something fun to play as a diversion for a little bit.
Yeah,
and it is. And as a point pressing game, the court is still out on that. I don't know, because again, it's so. There's nothing changing.
Well, it's a lot like Timberman. Where at some point your mind becomes numb to what you're doing, and your score depends on how much you can keep your mind aware.
The difference is Timberman increases in difficulty.
Does it?
Yeah, because you get less time to do the job.
Okay.
And I think but this game took a different approach. It's not a bad idea. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard. But and also I wish there was something that would there were some, I would like to see something that tells you when the time grows short, because a lot of times you're just playing, all of a sudden it just ends. I don't know what just happened. You're like, oh, I ran out of time.
Yeah, it would be nice to have if the music would change, or you get a little bloop or something when there's 10 seconds left.
But in terms of a game where, let's say me, you, Big Tex, the Brent, a few of us got together and have a point battle, okay? I don't know how fun this would be.
Well,
I'll
tell you,
perfect for both best.
I'm going to quote the Brent here, because you guys were discussing a point press game fairly recently.
Yeah.
And the Brent said that a good point press game, no matter your skill level, should end at about the 5 or 6 minute mark.
Yeah.
Where the action just gets too fast and furious.
I think we were talking about Timberman, actually.
This game does not do that. This game, you can literally play forever. And that's not good.
Well, no, the time runs out.
But if you're smart, you can go down, you can work out a system to where you can constantly get a little bit more time I don't know.
What was the long? Because I never played that long. I was hitting every one of those things that came down, and it still ended.
Okay.
After, I mean, how long did you play? Maybe you know more about it.
Well, I never died from running out of time. I always died because I got bored of what I was doing and I made a stupid mistake.
Oh, I ran out of time almost every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'm wrong about that.
There's
maybe
100 seconds, and then that's the thing with the extra 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? I mean, they only, like you said, they only show up with the extra 5-second possibility every 10 seconds.
So who knows? Maybe this would be a good point press game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be. I mean, it would be fair, I guess. But I mean, would it be fun?
But
is Timberman fun? For example,
Right.
I think it, or like Ghost Chase, something like that. I think they are. But this is firmly in that camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got Ghost Rush, Timberman, and this, and they're all firmly in that camp.
Yeah.
But this provides more gameplay than either one of those. Which so for Christmas, totally fine. So and it's certainly worth a couple bucks. And then it also sort of makes you want to play the actual game.
Yeah.
Which is what this is supposed to do.
Right.
I think. Did we get any? I'm sure we got some review action on this.
We did. We got a message or a review from the one and only Pajako6502, giver of gifts. He says, a fun and easy top play arcade game that is fun in short bursts, but it all wears a little too thin far too quickly. I can't fault the graphics and music and sound, but there really isn't much to it. Yes, it does feature music and sound.
That's quite an emphasis.
Unlike some arcade games where you can learn tricks and patterns to get better score, this one relies a little too much on randomness and working in your favor. The crux of the game is getting the right color gifts at the right time, and if that goes south, you can spend a chunk of the game just picking up and throwing presents, just hoping one of the right colors shows up. There seems to be a bug where you can sometimes throw a gift through a recipient if you are too close to them. And I wasn't a fan of the mechanic where you couldn't lob a present from one side of the screen to one of the little guys, but everywhere else it was fine to do that. I really feel that this game could be expanded a little more to really make it more sticky, like many different color enemies to match all the gift colors. But for a budget price of $2, you could do a lot worse. So grab a glass of something festive and start hurling gifts at everything that moves and see if you can beat that high score, 9 out of 12.
It's a weird score.
It's a Pixel Guide N thing.
You know, I thought of something else that I think would be, and this would be pretty easy to implement, I think. This would exponentially be more fun with simultaneous 2-player.
Yeah.
And you can whack your buddy.
Yeah.
You know, none of this working together crap.
Right.
Your enemies.
Right.
That might be, and you turn the timer off and just use, get each guy like 6 lives or 10 lives, and leave everything else the same. Just let them chuck around. They can score, and then it's a high score point where you're actually going after your buddy. That might be kind of fun to do it that way. But overall, you know, like I said, I got nothing bad to say about it, if I'm honest. I thought it was a pretty fun game, and I enjoyed it. And hopefully, sometime in the near future, Bo, we'll be able to sit down and actually play the full version of this on the show. I'd kind of like to give that a whirl too, if I'm honest.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. Well, we leave Super Delivery Boy and we go right to our buddies at Retro Rewind.
Welcome to Retro Rewind. I'm your host, British Jones. Whether you're into the Amiga, Commodore 64, or Tiger floral print speed suits, Retro Rewind has all you need from the friendly hosers of the Great White North. Looking to upgrade your Amiga? Check out the Amiga OS 3.2.2 Kickstart ROM for just $18. Or maybe you need a C64 or C128 diagnostic harness. Grab one while they're hot. Don't miss our best sellers like the 1541 Transit Card for just $1, or the incredible Amiga Coin Cell Battery Adapter. Shop now at Retro Rewind Limited and bring your classic computers back to life. Retro Rewind Limited. Frank's the man.
Frank truly is the man, by the way. We all like Frank. So, Bo, tell everybody what we're going to get up to here.
Well, you know, we always, around Christmas time, we solicit our Discord community to provide us with stuff to show. You know, Christmas-related art, music, stories to share. And some years we get more submissions than others. I'm happy to report that this year we got quite a few. So we appreciate our Discord community. And as always, if you'd like to join our Discord community, it is open to patrons of the Amigos podcast, patreon.com/Amigos podcast.
Yeah.
If you'd like to join the friendliest community online. Our first submission, Aaron, comes from Level Lord. Level Lord knows something about the cold, being up in Chicago.
Yeah.
He says, this is an image that he sent to Doug's Amiga art contest a few years ago. He says, it reflects a rural area called Salash, which in reality are isolated farms which could be found in northern Serbia. The central object of the image is a jarum, translated as shadoof, which both of those words are words used to provide drinking water for animals. It is not a Christmassy image, but more of a winter idyllic image. It can be used as a filter if you don't receive much response from the community. Well, thank you.
I think it's quite lovely. By the way, we love the Lord.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then look at the work he did on this. Now he did this with an Amiga, and look at the shadowing and stuff. If you're listening at home, this is a stark wintry scene with an interesting gizmo there to give water to the animals. Very, very beautiful. Very nice Level Lord. He's quite an artist. That guy's got talent coming out the yin yang, and his wife and his kids the same way.
That's right.
And cooks. Holy smokes.
Yeah, him at the grill. That's something to behold.
Yeah.
Especially when it's nighttime and he's out there blind, can't see anything. All right, next up we got Tech Mage. He's provided a little image from a YouTube user, Broad Blues. This is a Christmas card designed on an Amiga for 2023. Look at this thing coming in.
Yeah, for those at home who are watching, this is an image being drawn. What's this in Sketch something?
Sketch block. So I bet this is an OS4 deal. Looks to be a very high res.
I'm not familiar with the old Sketch. Is that a Mac thing?
No, I believe this is an OS4 thing.
Oh, OS4. Sorry, my brain's I left town mentally there.
So it looks like he's drawing. This is a green character. You know, you always think about the Grinch, but he's definitely not very Grinch-like.
This is after he turned face.
Right.
I never understood that.
I really hate the Grinch and everything about that film.
Why?
I just don't think it's very good. I don't think it's a very good concept.
I love the songs, and I'm not the biggest Dr. Seuss fan, as you know.
The Jim Carrey version is an abomination.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that.
That thing's horrible. I can stand the animated version.
I'm talking about the original ones. And I only like the first one, but stay away from his Halloween special like the Plague.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the Grinch, he was fine. One and done.
Yeah.
That's all we needed. Yeah. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. We'll just keep doing a bunch of Dr. Seuss stuff. That's nice. Yeah, there it was, the cool desktop mode. I think you were dead on there.
Yeah, so congratulations to YouTuber Bubbles for putting that together. That seems pretty cool.
Skip too far. I wanted to see what it looked like at the end.
You know, I thought about doing an animated Lamolangelo Christmas card this year. But
how would that be? That wouldn't be that Christmassy, would it?
Well, you know, Lamolangelo celebrates Christmas just as much as humans do. So next up, we've got Pajako. So Pajako says, this year I finally received my ZX Spectrum Next that I backed almost 2.5 years ago. It amazingly arrived on my birthday, but have I opened and used it? No. Because I'm wrapping mine up and opening it Christmas morning and reliving that getting a Specky for Christmas 1987 moment as close as I can.
That's self-control.
Yeah.
You know, I hear a lot of people, I'll watch old Gima's channel a lot. And this guy's like, he's living in the past, man. He always he goes and tries to collect the old stuff he had as a kid and stuff. And it's funny to me. That's not funny. Good for him. Good for Pajako. But like, when I was a kid, there was no computers and stuff, really. And so the stuff I got, I'd have to go out like buy myself a tape deck or something. I can't see myself doing that. What about you? Because when you were young, and you would get computers for Christmas and your birthday or video games. Do you have? So
what my parents would do is that before we got the Nintendo and all we had was the Atari.
Yeah.
Atari would publish catalogs, software catalogs.
Yeah.
And my parents would get these catalogs. And the catalogs were very light on the old graphics. It was mostly just text descriptions of games. And so I would go through and I would choose. And I remember I got 2 games on 2 separate years. One year I got Basketball, the basketball cartridge for the Atari.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yep, that one. And then the second one was I got E.T. Phone Home, okay?
Oh, man.
And I still remember playing E.T., putting it on Christmas morning.
Well, it was better on the computer.
Yeah. It was it's a good game.
Yeah.
But when you collect all the pieces and you bring them back, E.T.'s digitized visage appears on the screen, and you get this sampled E.T. Phone Home. He sounds like Speedy Gonzales in the Atari version, and it scared me so much that I turned off the computer. It was so frightening.
You're such a sensitive child.
I was.
Do you ever feel the need, or maybe you do this, to like go back and kind of try to recollect stuff from your childhood, and like, I mean, you know, go back and sort of re-experience that stuff, like you like through the eyes of a boat.
I do like to do that. You know, for example, when I was driving home yesterday, you know, I used to be scared when we used to go to Boy Scout camps. I'd always room with these guys that were real into the metal. And they'd have these tapes, you know, like Dio and Danzig and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'd look at them, I would be scared looking at these tapes.
They were scary.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And you know, I
Diamond.
listened to the music because yesterday I had 7.5 hours to kill. I was like, I'm going to listen to some of this stuff. It's really not that bad. It's really not. It's not like the death metal of today. You know, I listen.
But, I mean, it's not the best.
Well, I listened to some Ronnie James Dio, and it's like, I mean, they sound like a hard rock band.
He's a lot different than a lot of those guys. Like you've heard Danzig before.
That's the Mother guy, right?
What's it to do with So this is how you reclaim your childhood, by listening to stuff that scared you.
Yeah.
Do you think you overcame a barrier there?
A little bit. I mean, I'm still scared of most things I come into contact with. But no longer will I put Dio on that list.
It's funny to me that you're scared of stuff, because I've seen you wear the dumbest outfit possible and get in front of a huge group of people that don't care about you, and you had no problem at all doing that. So you've got weird issues when it comes to fright.
Weird Issues is my middle name. We want to show off a couple of these Christmas cards from Pajako that he's created from his creative mind. So he's a man after your own heart, Aaron, using the Microsoft Paint.
Hey, I use it for everything I've ever done. Look at that Santa, that's pretty good. I like the fact that he captured part of the browser along with it. If you're looking at home, we're looking at some Paint 3D.
I can only hope when he printed it out, he printed out that whole thing with the GUI up top and the browser there.
Nice.
Now, of course, we can't let a Christmas go by without playing a little Have Yourself a Wacky Little Christmas.
Yeah.
This is Pixels at Dawn's Amigos Christmas Anthem.
Let's see if we can get this to come up here and work. This one takes a little while to get started. Or not at all. Oh yeah, that's right, I muted the tab. My bad, everybody. I'll start that over. Well, I didn't know we were going to list the tunes. Here we go.
And big in that. Everybody needs to see Pixels.
A wacky little Christmas. Don't mention AGA. From now on, West Virginia won't be miles away.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
He's like a modern day Bing Crosby.
He is.
You know, let's let this run for a second. I just got the audio going here, so let's give him a little taste here.
Happy Amiga Day.
You remember when he first recorded this? Do you remember how many years ago this was? Was it?
It was 2020. This was in the depths of the pandemic.
You are here for us. Heaven's got beer for us. For sure.
Love with a little picture of Ebony going in with the beer.
Yeah, good guitar work on this.
Who did he get to play guitar on?
We all have been together.
I think this is quite. Look at that. And for those listening on the radio, Pixels is seated beside this beautiful, looks like a marble fireplace. Look at that bug.
Yeah, I mean, Pixels, he really lives in the height of luxury. Look at that fire. It's a real fire.
He's in some kind of like fitted suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing off the rack for this guy.
No. I like that Dizzy, that caricature up there on the mantelpiece. And tasteful tree, nice built-in bookcases. The Pixels estate, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good. I love that. Thank you, Pix. That was so nice. Pix is so good. Oh, we'll get stopped over head, Boat, on that one. That was nice, Boat.
And of course, we roll on with Pixels' submission this year. It's a stunning likeness of you, me, and the Brent.
Yeah.
So around an Amiga Christmas tree.
He really captured our essence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're listening to radio, it's think Super Tennis Champ, the Amigos version, basically. It's what it looks like to me.
It does. It does.
And we can almost roll right out of the court with
I may call upon Pixels when I'm making that game. You know, to design the characters. I can see you, me, and the Brent running around some imaginary universe.
I like how you're setting up jobs for everybody.
That's what I do.
Next year, Boat's going to be running all sorts of scans on people.
Captain Delegation.
Captain Delegation, that's it. Oh, here we go.
Up next, we have, this is Reflections submission. This is an Octamed mod called Du Grand Guiltron. It's French.
These are always great.
Yeah, I love me some Pro Tracker stuff.
Don't you wish you had the ability to, make it work?
I do. Remember when we tried to make it work?
Do you remember my song? I mean, it was calling that a song.
We should do that again, though.
No, you mean for Amigathon this year?
Yeah, for Amigathon this year.
Man. I will say I did enjoy the painting portion. The music portion was a lot harder.
So this is, Edvin says, this translates to, you green sparkling tree. That's lovely.
Oh, nice. Look at that. It was dandy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Reffy. Boy, I tell you want to talk about a man of many talents.
Oh,
Reflection is one of the greatest musicians that I've had the pleasure of working with.
He's got something else here. Is this the same thing?
It's the same thing as the MP3 version.
I like that. Look at all that.
Lord Soup just flooding the channel with conversation.
There you go. That's Lord Soup. Beavis and Butthead. It's just apropos. What do we got here?
48K. This is a demo that is brand new for the Amiga. Why not play this? Merry Beermas. Hopefully this will not contain anything untoward. Although I will say this may be just the file. Maybe not
too bad.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait for that to appear on YouTube. But look that up. And finally, Lord Soup. Or not Lord Soup, jeez. Lobsterminator. Another Pro Tracker mod. My personal favorite Christmas song.
You hear this everywhere now, that tune.
I love it. I never heard it until 2008 when I was in Korea. That was the first time I ever heard it.
Listen, anything's better than that god-awful Paul McCartney tune.
Everybody hates that song. I think it's okay.
It's the worst thing he ever was involved in.
No, there's lots worse Paul McCartney songs.
No. Actually, his birthday song's also hideous. What is that guy's problem?
Oh man, did you see that thing appear? I think there's going to be some sort of multimedia component. Something appeared in the background there.
I didn't see it. They're dancing in the chat room.
They are.
Not bad.
Yeah, I like it.
Not bad at all.
I like it.
I like that. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah. So make sure you check this out. This is on Lobsterminator X's YouTube channel. You can find that. And maybe we can just kind of play it soft as we're going through the rest of these.
Yeah, I think that's it, Boat.
Yeah. So guys, thank you. Very good turnout for our Amigos Christmas section.
Yeah.
Scroll, I want to say there's one, I thought that we had one more.
Remember we had one that wouldn't come up.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had one that wouldn't come up.
We try it one more time though, just to be a completionist here. This is one from Reflection. It's another one, but this one for whatever reason didn't turn out.
Maybe it's one of those weird regional things too. Oh, here we go. No, scroll down. Fred Onions posted a story. Scroll up one. There you go. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He says,
give it to us.
He says, I have a stupid story. I don't believe that. He says, as a kid, I desperately wanted an Amiga 500 for Christmas 1989. But the guy at the store said I would have to buy a monitor as well. So that made it way too expensive for my family. So instead, I used my C64 and Okidata 10 printer all the way through high school and tech school until finally replacing it with a PC in 1995.
That's all man right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Then, night one with the PC, monitor goes boom. So it's back to the C64 for one final year. Anywho, back to Christmas 1989. Instead of an Amiga, I got a Sega Genesis.
Ooh.
When I launched the packed-in Altered Beast, I was literally stunned. I heard the Amiga version of Altered Beast
Would
was
you
even
stop
better.
with that?
I thought, based on the conversations about needing a monitor for the Amiga, that the graphics as good as the Genesis were impossible without a monitor. I was just a kid, so forgive me for being an idiot, but I was shocked and I couldn't get over it. I then thought, this is it, man. It will never get better than this. So yeah, I mean, do you remember back in the day? Did they really sell the monitor as being a part of the experience?
Let me tell you something. Whoever was making him buy a monitor, that's dirty pool. He was working an angle, and he got nothing.
Yeah.
Now, he could have used that god-awful 520 to stick in the back of it. This is the 500's Achilles heel.
It is. It
Is
really
the audio or video output.
Yeah.
We both hate it.
Yeah.
We hate it. And the 1000's got dandy video out.
Composite right
Nothing
there.
wrong with that, but
Yeah.
no, we're cheaping out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you get, that god-awful 520. How many people did that? I'm getting on a brand. Anyway, ignore that. So, yeah, the monitor was always, I always heard was fairly key. But the funny thing is, none of my friends could afford some kind of tippity-top monitor. I bought a 17-inch monitor that was like sort of offish, honest brand. It wasn't like anything big. This thing cost me it was like $750.
Well, 17 inches was a big
And
monitor
this
back then.
this is when I lived in Lexington, so this would have been like I don't know, right around 2000, 2001, and it weighed as much as a car.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought to myself, and the thing is, as I owned that monitor, I saw it mean so much less, like instantly. The first time my buddy walked in with an LCD monitor, I'm like, crap.
Right.
What did I buy? I'm an
Yeah.
idiot, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I got to give him credit for going all the way through school to 64, but more impressive than that is going all the way through school with an Okidata printer. Those things are hot garbage. Have you ever used one of those things?
I don't know what that is.
Okidata color print and Okidata radio. It's just real tiny little manual feed paper.
Oh, wow.
They suck. Those things suck. But they were everywhere with the C64, like it's part of the deal.
Okay.
They'd put these Okidata printers in there. I never liked these things. They just one last thing on Fred's story. He used that Commodore with the monitor from his childhood all the way up into college. Okay. And it worked. You could go fire it up right now. PC monitor, first day, bam. There you go.
That's all you have to
What are
say.
you using at the house right now? Amiga monitor. And that thing works like a champ.
Works like a
doesn't it?
champ. It's great. It's great. Well, Aaron, I believe that we've come to the end of our Christmas celebration. What are we going to play next week on the show?
Well, God only knows, but let's see what it is. It's like Vanna.
So, at long last, about a month after it was originally recorded, we are going to be releasing the Lotus Turbo Challenge 2 episode recorded live from the cave down at RMC's place.
What was it like when you first walked into the old RMC? Did you have a moment of childhood wonderment?
I did. It's amazing that because he's made it like that. Because you walk in and the first thing you see is just everything is. It looks like my basement except better. You know,
it looks like a huge place.
It's a huge place.
Yeah.
And when you walk into that store, the store section, that's the piece de resistance right there.
Yeah, it's pretty clever. Isn't it?
Because it literally looks like a store, and all the games are shrink wrapped and stuff. It's amazing. And then you look at the library. He has thousands of magazines, all carefully curated and separated out. It's an amazing. It's not. I haven't been to a lot of computer museums, so I don't have anything to compare it to really. But for an event space, there's no better place to have an event than at RMC's cave.
And then as an added bonus next week, for people that tune in, you'll get to hear Boat's story of actually getting in a Lotus.
That's right. I was able to squeeze myself in, but we'll save that. You can enjoy that when the episode is released next week.
Before we head out, I just want to mention that it's not like me and Boat are checking out. Oh no, we're going to be back on New Year's Eve, along with the Brent, in this very room, and these very couches, for our ARG Amigos RetroGaming end of the year super show.
Yes.
Where we've never done this.
No.
because it's madness. Is why. Because we've got to be spending that much time in the same room with the Brent. We're going to have Game of the Year and Worst Game of the Year conversations for the Atari ST, the TRS-80 color computer, the ZX Spectrum, and the Amiga, all in the same show. It should be a fun time. We're all going to be sitting here together. I can't remember the last time we all did a show together, Bo. It's been last year, Thanksgiving,
it's been
or Amigathon.
Well, I was going to say, except for Amigathon, we haven't been together doing a show since before the pandemic.
So this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. We'll be kicking that show off on New Year's Eve, and I believe you said about, 11:30 or so?
Yeah.
We'll give you exact time, but it should be a lot of fun. So that's literally, it's a week from tomorrow, and that will kick everyone's New Year's into high gear.
Yeah, man.
For the big day. Anything else you want to say before we take it to the houseboat?
Hey, Merry Christmas. Thank you to all you guys that are in the chat with us right now. We love the fact that you guys are watching us live so close to the holidays. We hope that your Christmas is merry and awesome. And like I said, try and enjoy yourself over the next couple days.
You make it sound like it's a chore. It's not that tough. Just do it.
Just
Get
do
you a
it.
cold one. That's the way I like to do it. Some eggnog, spike it.
I love it. We'll see you guys next time, and until then, adios.